What's hood with you? This is Opinionated 3000. I'm your host, Mr. Opinionated. Just wanted to start. I usually don't say much in front of the video. Just want to start out by saying I got like a lot of things that I'm dealing with in my personal life. Whether y'all know it or not, this is like my therapy. Like I'm actually talking to somebody and everything. It really helps. So I appreciate y'all. Just the ones that subscribe. The other ones kind of like a little bit. The subscribers I love. Passion. But let's jump right in and see what they got cooking.
Where are you guys coming from?
What did I do, sir?
Coming from the train tracks?
What did I do, sir?
Huh?
What did I do?
That jumped off quick.
Donald Trump is obsessed with revenge.
Come on, Trump.
I'm focused on the future. I'm lowering drug prices, getting more people health care, defending our basic rights like the right to choose. We're pushing past Trump's grievances and building a better future.
Why would I use kayak to compare hundreds of travel sites at once?
Y'all gonna do me like this?
Things myself. I can't trust anything else to do the job right. Kayak.
Kayak. Search one and done.
Officer Bonkowski was joined in the pursuit by his partner.
If I didn't open my heart up at the beginning of this, I would start over. But nope, you got to check out Kayak now.
Corporal DeBella and local resident Sue Stiegler, who was a member of a government watchdog group, noticed the officers from her home. Because Justice police officers did not normally patrol her neighborhood, Miss Stiegler decided to monitor and film their actions.
You need help?
Where's Ironwood at?
Ironwood. Very first street. You should get in your car because it's all at the end.
My car's way down there.
It's right there.
She seemed like she trying to help, but by what they just said, I think she's just trying to get in the mix. And if she cool with them, she know that, you know, it ain't gonna be no problem with what she doing.
Ironwood's the next street over.
Why are you recording me?
Why not? You're in my park with no jurisdiction. So I'm just curious to know.
No
You don't have any jurisdiction in here. What's going on? Where's the lights and sirens?
What is going on?
Little dude disappeared. That must be his park too. he obviously knows some cuts. He can pew pew.
Yo, go in your house!
Hell no. I live around here.
All right.
Can I help you? You guys looking for somebody? Maybe I saw somebody.
Get the fuck out of here if you get arrested!
You, dude, what are you gonna arrest me for? Being held accountable for you, bro.
I'm telling you, you're gonna get arrested!
I dare you.
Oh, run, man. This way.
That's right.
Get him back up, you understand?
Immediately, he put his hand on his weapon. This woman has posed absolutely no threat. What's the hand on the weapon for? That alone is you threatening her. What is that for?
You're gonna get arrested, you understand?
For what?
Get going!
For what?
Get going now!
Why are you gonna arrest me?
You're gonna get arrested, I'm telling you
I've
right
already
now!
dealt with your sergeant. Thank
You already know that.
I've already dealt with your
I'm
sergeant.
giving you
Thank
fair warning. You keep following us, you're
I'm
gonna
allowed
get arrested.
to follow. Now you're
You
following me.
understand?
Look at that. Look at that anger. He's got anger issues. She's just somebody in the public. Why is she immediately looked at as the enemy? Where all that aggression come from, dude? What happened to y'all being trained to de-escalate? How is the way you're behaving with somebody who's just following y'all at a safe distance? You turned around and came back to her. So she's just following y'all and you get that aggressive. That's not de-escalating. Your hand on your pistol is already introducing the possibility of somebody getting shot. Gotta do better.
Officer Bonkowski screams at Ms. Stiegler to stop, quote-unquote, following the officers and go back inside her home or he will arrest her. When Ms. Stiegler refuses, he grabs her cell phone and throws it. In the 2012 case of ACLU of Illinois versus Alvarez, the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over Illinois, held that enforcing the Illinois eavesdropping statute, which at the time prohibited audio recording any conversation without the consent of all parties, against individuals who openly recorded law enforcement officers engaged in their official duties in public places, violated the First Amendment. In reaching this conclusion, the Seventh Circuit determined that, quote, the act of making an audio or audiovisual recording is necessarily included within the First Amendment's guarantee of speech and press rights as a corollary of the right to disseminate the resulting recording. The right to publish or broadcast an audio or audiovisual recording would be insecure or largely ineffective if the antecedent act of making the recording is wholly unprotected. However, the court also noted that, quote, it goes without saying that the police may take all reasonable steps to maintain safety and control, secure crime scenes and accident sites, and protect the integrity and confidentiality of investigations. While an officer surely cannot issue a quote-unquote move-on order to a person because he is recording, the police may order bystanders to disperse for reasons related to public safety and order and other legitimate law enforcement needs. Nothing we have said here immunizes behavior that obstructs or interferes with effective law enforcement or the protection of public safety. According to Section 31-1A of Article 5 of Title 720 of the Illinois compiled statutes, quote, a person who knowingly obstructs the performance by one known to the person to be a peace officer of any authorized act within his or her official capacity commits a Class A misdemeanor. As the Second District Appellate Court of Illinois explained in the 2011 case of People versus Kutlinski, quote, passive acts that impede an officer's ability to perform his duties, such as repeatedly refusing an order to exit a vehicle, can be a violation of Section 31-1A. In fact, in the 1969 case of City of Chicago versus Meyer, the Supreme Court of Illinois held that a citizen may be found guilty of resisting or obstructing a police officer in the performance of his duty merely by stating that he will not move on when requested to do so by a police officer. Accordingly, it is certainly possible that an individual's refusal to comply with a law enforcement order to quote-unquote go home could also constitute obstruction under Illinois law. However, as the First District Appellate Court of Illinois highlighted in the 1968 case of People versus Young, quote, the provision covers only resistance or obstruction to authorized acts of the officer. In the Young case, the court determined that a citizen could not be convicted of obstructing an illegal search of her home. As such, Ms. Stiegler could only be convicted of obstruction if a court concluded that Officer Bonkowski was within his legal authority to order Ms. Stiegler to stop filming and go back inside her home.
Understand?
Yeah, piece of
She was walking behind them, so she's not obstructing anything. She's walking behind them. He came back to her. So that's not, she's not stopping what he's trying to do. Now, if they were searching in the area and she's standing right there with them, I could see why they would say she was obstructing justice. But she was behind them, several feet behind them, probably 20, 30 feet behind them. How is that stopping what he's doing and they're walking forward?
Okay?
And then grabbing her phone and throwing her phone. So I thought that alone was destruction of property. He grabbed her phone and threw it. Probably turned his camera off.
Now go back in your house or you're getting arrested. You understand?
For what? I'm walking around my neighborhood.
Now we're dealing with something serious. I'm telling you, you're gonna get arrested.
For
Look
what?
at
Put your
this
hands behind your back
dude.
now.
For what?
Put your hands behind your back.
For filming? Walking around my park? I can't even come through here?
Now, I'm not sure what the original person who took off running, I'm not sure what he did. I'm sure they're going to say it. But now you stop. If anything, you're obstructing the search. You stopped the search to arrest an innocent bystander for recording. Like, you don't know that your all of the footage around there is going to be looked at, and they're going to see you're the aggressor. They're going to see you take her phone and throw it. The only person that's committed a crime here is possibly the dude that ran. I don't know. Like I said, we ain't got there yet. Only other person that committed a crime is the officer. And to me, if the other officers stand by and watch what he did, they're just as guilty as he is. Your job is to protect and serve. How are you protecting this woman if she could get assaulted, get her phone thrown? That's not protection. She should literally be protected from that bully ass cop. And that's 100% what he is. He's a bully. And most bullies are cowards. We all know that.
You got a supervisor, please?
Well, we're fucking dealing with something serious. You ain't gonna fucking follow us. You understand that?
I'm just watching.
It's called obstructing. You understand?
It's not if I'm just watching. I'm not in your way.
I don't care. You ain't gonna film us and follow us. Or we're fucking dealing with somebody with a possible gun. You understand?
Tell me that. Tell me that.
I told you.
You told me to go in. You didn't say possible gun. I would have been gone.
So now if I let you out of this cuffs, are you gonna go in your house? Or do you want to get arrested?
Sure, I'll go in my house.
All right. I'm dealing with something more serious than fucking dealing with you.
And you're gonna deal with me.
Yeah, you fucking pull. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They was looking for a man with a gun, and then they stopped to because he in his feelings. That's why they stopped. He's supposed to be the ultimate authority. And when somebody disobeys anything that he says, whether he's right or he's wrong, he throws a temper tantrum. And this is what happens. How could he be deemed level-headed when he's got anger management issues? Obviously. And again, I feel sorry for his family, like his immediate family, his kids, his lady, boyfriend, I don't know what he liked to do. I mean, if that's his choice, all about that community. Let's say that. I'm just saying, though, on a serious note, this man has obvious anger management issues. Nobody that he pulls over is going to get have a positive experience with him.
All right, you're gonna get arrested then. That's fine.
Officer Bonkowski initially tells Ms. Stiegler that he will release her if she agrees to go inside her home, then changes his mind and tells her she will be arrested. In general, the First Amendment prohibits government officials from taking retaliatory actions, such as arrests and criminal prosecutions, against citizens for engaging in protected speech, including filming police officers engaged in their duties in public. As the Supreme Court explained in the 2006 case of Hartman versus Moore, quote, if an official takes adverse action against someone based on that forbidden motive and non-retaliatory grounds are in fact insufficient to provoke the adverse consequences, the injured person may generally seek relief by bringing a First Amendment claim. To prevail on such a claim, a plaintiff must establish a so-called causal connection between the government defendant's so-called retaliatory animus and the plaintiff's so-called subsequent injury. The court also clarified that, quote, it is not enough to show that an official acted with a retaliatory motive and that the plaintiff was injured. The motive must cause the injury. Specifically, it must be a but-for cause, meaning that the adverse action against the plaintiff would not have been taken absent the retaliatory motive. Applying this standard, the court ultimately held that in order to succeed in a retaliatory prosecution case, a plaintiff must prove the absence of probable cause for the underlying criminal charge. Relying on this precedent, the Supreme Court later determined in the 2019 case of Nieves versus Bartlett that individuals who file retaliatory arrest claims must also prove that the officers who arrested them did not have probable cause to arrest them. This means that even if an individual is ultimately acquitted of the crime they are arrested for, their retaliatory arrest claim will fail if a court concludes that the arresting officer objectively had probable cause to arrest them for any criminal charge, even if it is not the crime the officer arrested the individual for at the time. Accordingly, if Ms. Stiegler were to pursue a retaliatory arrest claim, she would need to prove that they did not have any probable cause to arrest her in the first place.
But what he said, let me break it down because I know some of y'all are a little slow. It's okay, though. Basically, what he's saying is the cop has to prove that he has probable cause for her to be arrested, and he's not just arresting her because she didn't follow an unlawful command, because that's exactly what just happened. She didn't bow down to his absolute authority And because of that, she's going to jail. Sound like a lawsuit to me.
You just want to with us.
How am I f***ing with
And
you
then he's still
recording?
talking shit.
UCLA versus Alnita Alvarez. I'm allowed to record.
What fucking cases you fucking know? Understand? But you ain't gonna
Care about the law.
you ain't gonna follow us.
All I am doing is walking around the park. I saw you guys coming. Then I figured I'm going
I
to follow
see you
and
following
what's
one of
going
my
on.
other officers.
Yeah, because I was walking
creeping
around.
up on him on the side of the trailer. I seen you.
I ran back in my yard. In my yard, and I wasn't anywhere near him. Supreme Court says 10 feet. I'm way beyond 10 feet.
I don't give a
Way
You ain't gonna
beyond.
follow
Any
us.
police
You ain't gonna
officer like
follow
that.
us. You understand?
He don't care about what the Supreme Court says at all. He don't care. He don't care about our constitutional rights. He don't care about none of that. Although the other cops weren't involved, sat back and they allowed that to happen. They allowed this man to get angry. And because she disobeyed an unlawful order, they watched him throw her phone and then lock her up. How are you protecting and serving?
Understand that?
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Ms. Stiegler claims that the Supreme Court, quote, says 10 feet, and that she was much further away from the officers than 10 feet while she was filming them. As of the date of writing this episode, the Supreme Court has not issued an opinion regarding the constitutionality of filming the police, so Ms. Stiegler is likely referring to the 2011 case of Glick versus Kniff, where the First Circuit Court of Appeals first recognized the right of citizens to record.
Bro, you did too much reading. I'm not going to keep letting y'all mess my videos up.
Are you interested in starting your own faceless YouTube automation channel, but all people do is tell you to go to frickin' Fiverr?
Rule that individuals can always film officers in public as long as they are 10 feet away. Rather, as the First Circuit explained, exercise of the right of any particular. While Ms. Stiegler's distance from the officers would certainly be an important factor
Way
in
more than 10
evaluating
feet.
whether the
Look at
restriction
that.
on her filming was reasonable, it would not be entirely dispositive. Still, Ms. Stiegler's conduct in filming was similar to the Glick's, and as the First Circuit noted in the Glick case, quote, such peaceful recording of an arrest in a public space that does not interfere with the police officer's performance of their duty.
And if y'all remember, she was actually helping them. She told them how far the street that they're looking for was. She told them where they were at. She said that if you need to know anything else, she'd help them with it. So she was actually helping them. I know what she was trying to do. I'm not going to act like she wasn't trying to kind of be in the mix a little bit. But she was still doing it in a legal way. She want all the smoke. So I'm not going to act like she was just out there just going for a stroll and the cops just happened to be there. She's an antagonist. But that's not illegal at all. The people who audit the cops are not doing anything illegal. So
duties is not reasonably subject to limitation. Although Ms. Stiegler was not filming the completion of arrest, she was clearly filming the officers in performance of their duties in public, and given the strong protection that courts...
And y'all see how that officer handled it. He just looked at her. He kept it pushing. He wasn't on no extra BS or none of that. He kept it pushing. He knew what she was doing.
filming the officers in performance of their duties in public, and given the strong protection that courts have recognized for non-disruptive recording of police officers, it seems unlikely that a court would conclude that Ms. Stiegler could be convicted of obstruction for her conduct.
I'm gonna talk to my sergeant, see if he wants you arrested.
What, filming?
No.
Damn right.
He said
And what he's doing is checking to see if he should arrest her. He's not. He's trying to CYA, cover your ass. That's 100% what he's doing. But he knows that he shouldn't be arresting her. He already knows that. He knows that she knows the law. He knows what type of person she is. He knows she's an auditor. So he's trying to make sure that he's not going to have any negative consequences behind what's going on. Because every time he takes somebody to jail, he don't make a call to see if it's okay. He's doing it now because he knows that she knows her shit. If she didn't start quoting cases and case numbers and all of that stuff, ass would have been in jail, because then he knows that she might not know her shit, but she's top of it. Anytime you hear somebody say, the case of, they know what they talk about. They've gone over this. They've studied. They did their homework. Now, you can fall into that trap if you want to. And yes, I know it's a trap. But we still have rights, though. So it's a trap. But as long as she handles her business within the law, then she's supposed to be protected.
That I can go on a thing with him and videotape the whole thing if I want.
You got an ID on you?
Nope.
What's your name? Give me a fake name. You're getting arrested.
Yeah, I know. I'm not dumb. So
I'll charge you with that too. I'll charge you with that too.
Tell me a crime that I've committed. Would you tell me a crime? Once you hear from your sergeant, I want somebody bigger than you. Then if you're gonna be mean to me for filming.
You can't follow simple directions, right?
I'm allowed to do it. I wasn't anywhere near you people.
I don't know who the you are for one, or for two. You ain't gonna follow us. You understand that?
You
understand that? I don't care who the hell you are. You ain't gonna follow us.
Okay.
All right? When some fucking guy pulled out a gun on me, what's your name?
What's my crime?
What's your name?
I'm not going to tell you my name unless I've committed a crime. I haven't done anything wrong.
That's fine. I'm walking this way, and she's creeping up behind one of my officers, fucking
No.
filming them,
Cool as hell.
and then she wants to fucking keep
No
following us. I don't care. I don't know who you are. So
you
shut
don't have
your mouth.
to know. I'm
right?
not committing a crime. I don't match a description to any of your things, and I'm allowed to record you guys.
You surely ain't hell gonna follow us. I'll tell you that. Because I don't know who the you are if you got any weapons.
I'm trying to
and
see what's going on.
Ass, okay?
I'm trying to see what's going on. Well, now that you know, I don't.
Look at this man's behavior. Y'all cannot tell me that he don't have anger and authority issues. His word has to be the end all to everything that's going on. If he tells you something in his head, that's a lawful order, but that's not the case, though.
I don't have any weapons in what I'm doing, which is not
I don't know.
illegal.
I didn't search you yet.
Go ahead, search me.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Fifth Amendment. How about
I don't need a lawsuit, okay?
Exactly.
No, you don't get one anyway.
Please detain me for no crime.
All you people think you want to
people.
That you think you know the law, right?
Held you accountable.
Yeah, just so you can try catching a few dollars, right?
Yeah.
Oh, let's sue the department. Let's sue the department.
I have the money to sue.
You guys are losers, man.
You're a loser, dude.
Coming from running back this way, Mac, I see her creeping up on the.
He knows exactly what she's doing, but he still fell into it because she's not obeying his unlawful order. He knows that she's an auditor. He knows she knows her shit, but he still refuses to back down. His ego is 100% involved in everything that's going on right now.
Bella,
making up
back
the
here,
word creep. I was
back here.
Plenty of room away.
Got a camera back creeping up, so she approached me. I'm trying to keep running this way, and she's following me. Keeps following me. I told her, you're going to get arrested. Go back in your house. Keeps following me, so I stop her and detain her.
Do you have any idea what we were doing?
I know. I told her it's a fucking serious crime going on, and she keeps following me.
She didn't say anything about a serious crime.
We don't have to tell you anything.
No, you
Do you
don't.
understand that?
But I also can record. Can I have your sergeant, the other guy?
I am the
guy with the white hair.
I am the
because
sergeant.
I dealt with him
Listen
multiple
to me.
times.
Listen to me. If you're told to get back, we're chasing somebody with a gun.
Okay,
you
well,
understand
let me know that. You say gun.
I told you.
You did not. Body cam it. No,
Nope,
you didn't.
she didn't.
You didn't tell me nothing.
He said it after she was
I
already
I'm not
in
worried about it,
all
okay?
of that. Yes, I will be for you
I'm
requesting all
not worried about it. Mac, do you want her arrested for it?
All I was doing was
I tried giving her fair warning.
I didn't creep on anybody. They were in.
She wants to keep following me, keep following me. I don't know if she has a weapon on her. I don't know who she is, and she's following me.
In my yard, sitting on my porch, and I just saw.
What's your name?
She won't give it to me.
She's not going to jail.
Take her.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Obstructing identification and obstructing.
But you can't. I haven't committed a crime.
Sergeant Michael McNamara tells Officer Bonkowski to arrest Ms. Stiegler for, and I'm quoting, obstructing identification and obstructing. As we discussed earlier, it is unlikely that a court would conclude obstructing identification of the Illinois or residence person to violating this statute. On March 27, 2020, Ms. Stiegler filed a federal lawsuit for claims of First Amendment retaliatory arrest and prosecution and unreasonable seizure under the Fourth Amendment. The lawsuit alleged that Officer Bonkowski submitted a false report to the prosecutors claiming that Ms. Stiegler obstructed him, which induced the prosecutors to bring charges against her. The complaint also claimed that at Ms. Stiegler's trial, the judge reviewed Officer Bonkowski's body-worn camera after he testified and, quote-unquote, immediately acquitted Ms. Stiegler, and Lackluster reported that it took 13 months for her case to make it to trial. Because Cook County has not made its criminal court records publicly available online, I have been unable to independently confirm any details regarding the criminal prosecution against Ms. Stiegler. On January 5th, 2022, a settlement agreement was reached, and Ms. Stiegler dismissed her claims in exchange for an undisclosed amount of compensation. It is unclear whether any disciplinary action was taken against Officer Bonkowski or Sergeant McNamara, but Lackluster reported that the Justice Police Department claimed that an internal investigation found that the conduct of one of the involved employees was contrary to the policy and procedures of this department, and that, now quoting, appropriate disciplinary action has been administered. However, no additional information regarding this alleged disciplinary action has been made publicly available. Overall, Officer Bonkowski gets an F for maintaining an aggressive and violent demeanor throughout the encounter, demonstrating complete contempt for Ms. Stiegler's First Amendment rights, and claiming that the fleeing suspect had a gun when his own body camera footage shows otherwise. Although we do not know why the officers were detaining the original suspect, it is conceivable that Officer Bonkowski may have had the legal authority to order Ms. Stiegler inside her home in certain circumstances for her own protection. However, Officer Bonkowski demonstrated through multiple statements, and by throwing her phone to stop her recording, that his actions were motivated by his dislike of Ms. Stiegler following and filming him, and not any concerns about her safety. And his claims that the suspect had a firearm appear to be a fabrication. As the First Circuit explained in the Glick versus Kniff case we discussed in this episode, quote, in our exercise of their prerogative that Memorial Bonkowski utterly failed to comply with this expectation.
Oh, he definitely failed to comply. What do y'all think about this? If you want to talk about it, you can go to my Facebook page, Opinionated 3000. I'll have any discussions anybody wants to have. So Opinionated 3000. Out.